So what instruments do you play, Dan? I know you're a singer and a songwriter too. You've released many singles and at least 2 albums that I know of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bass, drums, guitar, vocals, saxophone, keyboards.
Yeah.
What
was your first instrument?
Saxophone. Well, clarinet, which morphed into saxophone.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh? Fascinating. That's great.
So on my first album, for example, Turnaround, I played all the instruments, except Victor Wooten played bass on one song and Steve Bailey played bass on a song. And I was having trouble with although I played the lead guitars in all the other songs, including slide guitar, there was one song that I just couldn't get what I wanted. And so I called up my buddy, Elliott Randall.
Okay.
Original guitarist from Steely Dan, who played the solo on Reelin' in the Years.
On Reelin' in the Years, right. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I said, you want to have a crack at this? And he just, he's in London. He recorded his parts. They were just amazing. Then for my next record, I had a similar problem where I had a tune. I really like the tune a lot. It's called This Is My Refrain. And it's an old tune I had written in the late 80s. And it was just it was a groove. And it had these kind of opaque spoken lyrics for the most part. And opaque is one way of putting it. Arty or poetic is another, depends
on your taste. That's right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But the song just wasn't working for me, and so I had this idea. I called in Roger Rosenberg, who's been touring with Steely Dan on saxophone for 20 years, and before that was with Stan Kenton, and had also played with Chet Baker for many years.
Yep.
And so he just walked in the studio and he just listened to the tune once, and then he blew this most amazing baritone sax solo and accompaniment. He plays throughout the whole song, and it turns, and there are gaps in my singing, so it turns it into a conversation, a call and response. And it was just so mind-blowing what he did.